After the release of The College Dropout, the hype for Ye's new project was high. A year after The College Dropout, Ye will release his next project for his school-themed trilogy, Late Registration. I don't have to explain Ye's backstory because I already did it in the previous video. Sorry for the long wait, y'all. Before we get into the nitty-gritty, let's get the intro out of the way. Alright, so Late Registration is a continuation from The College Dropout. The album started production shortly after the release of Ye's first album, costing around $2 million to produce. Ye managed to get 75% of the album done by November 2004, only for Ye not to be satisfied with what he's hearing, leading to Ye asking for the help of John Bryan, who helped change the album drastically. For features, we got artists such as Adam Levine, Brandy, Jay-Z, Lupe Fiasco, and so many more. While people's expectations were high, many were concerned that Ye's style of sped up vocals would get old. Thankfully, with the help of John Bryan, he helped Ye come up with some new sounds and ideas. Late Registration was released on August 30th. Did Ye find a way to make something that sounds fresh and new, or did he hit his sophomore slumps? Well, let's find out. This is probably going to be shorter than the last video, so I'd like to introduce a guest for today's video.
Hello everyone, it's your boy Kiwingly, or you can just call me Kiwi, and when Tim allowed me to be on this video, I was pretty hyped. Not only because, come on, it's Tim, but also because Late Registration is my favorite album of all time. Late Registration is an amalgamation of literally, let's do it, but do it better. Kanye West's brilliance has been nothing but contagious since he started making beats for other artists in the late 90s. He has inspired countless people with the artistry he's able to express with a nostalgic yet futuristic take on music. He has not only created music that many huge artists in the modern light recall back to as main influencers, but he also has changed the landscape of music several times during his career. With Late Registration, this album is just another example of a project that changed how music is made, specifically in the hip-hop community. In a Rolling Stones interview, Kanye spoke about the inspiration he had when composing Late Registration. He spoke about the album Roseland NYC Live by the British electronic band Portishead. The album is a cover album of their previous self-titled album with some additional tracks. What was different though in this new album was it was produced with the New York Philharmonic Orchestra. With listening to this coupled with the album cover's look, he was inspired to introduce an entire string arrangement into this project. He continues in that Rolling Stones interview saying, "I saw it," speaking about the album cover, "years back. But on my first album, I couldn't afford real strings. So after I won those Grammys, the first thing I did was run to John Bryan, and then I ran and got a string section." John Bryan being a singer, songwriter, and composer, and who also helped Kanye produce this album, would mostly be known to people by, let's see, oh yeah, he composed a score for Paranorman. By adding in an entire string section into the production, it gave the album a more orchestral feel, something that the hip-hop community wasn't used to whatsoever. It was the first of its kind to do something like this. Think about it like this: the orchestral parts like the beginning of 2009 by Mac Miller, the ending of Yellow by Rich Brian, or even the halfway point melody and ending of 10 Freaky Girls by Metro Boomin and 21 Savage, have all been adopted from the same symphony of instruments that are featured throughout the entirety of Late Registration. An album that is poetically beautiful, from the tonal shifts found throughout different parts of the album to the well thought out lyricism found as a perfect manifesto of, look, I made it. I made it as a rapper. The album is a swan song of Kanye's debut album, The College Dropout, that feathers out into a celebration of something only champions can relate to and everyone else can only look forward to. Kanye doesn't want people to think that the beauty of this album comes from the around $2 million he sunk into making this project, or the flow and lyricism that he exemplifies as a rapper. He wants people to be able to find the beauty through an emotional connection that is heightened by the centuries-long magnificence of an orchestra being conducted by none other than himself.
Alright, so the album starts off with a skit titled Wake Up Mr. West. D.Ray Davis returns to do the voice of Ye's college professor. It's always a treat to hear D.R.A. Davis' voice, and he's still funny as hell to hear. Like last time, this is just a segue for the first song of the album, Heard Him Say. Yo, I'm gonna try my best not to say fam at all in this video. I do love this song though. Right off the rip, you can tell that this is something different than what you would hear from Ye's last album. Ye plays the role of someone who questions the world around him and how everything works. Also a message about being yourself and enjoying the time you have. The chorus paints that picture in your head. Ye starts the chorus off by saying, "And I heard him say, nothing's ever promised tomorrow today." While on the subject, I gotta give props to Adam Levine for his incredible vocals on this track. Look, I trash his music a lot, but I think he does an amazing job here. There's also the music video that is animated beautifully, and it helps push the message for the song. Give it a watch when you get the chance.
With the beautiful piano in the background complemented by Adam Levine of Maroon 5's vocals, and of course, the lyricism by Ye with lines speaking on the minimum wage level, the controversy surrounding the AIDS epidemic, and the mass incarceration of black people.
Trust me when I say the next track is also one of my favorites. Touch the Sky is a fucking banger. The chorus is extremely catchy, and the sample used for the song is so well constructed. With a feature verse from Lupe Fiasco, he delivers some great bars here. He starts off the song with some heat.
Guess who's on third? Lupe still like Lupin the Third.
That wasn't even anything special. He was just referencing Lupin the Third, but that shit was hard. The music video was well shot, honestly. I enjoyed the 70s vibe the video had. Ye was playing a character who was a daredevil, preparing for an extreme stunt. I love the part where Ye's ex interrupts the interview just to argue on live TV. That shit is hilarious.
You wanna focus, all right, nigga. You wanna focus on this.
This is why we could never work out, Nia.
Also, the technical difficulty screen is funny too. Overall, this song is still a banger. I enjoy listening to the song to this day type shit. To sound like a broken record, the next track is also a banger. Jamie Foxx returns to work with Ye on delivering a fire-ass chorus. Jamie Foxx was coming off the success of his 2004 film, Ray, which also won Fox's first Oscar. Anyways, Gold Digger is one of my favorite tracks. I don't care what you say, but Gold Digger is such a dated term for anyone who wants money. Just call him a bitch. That doesn't mean that Ye's chorus is bad, just dated. It's still fire though, don't get it twisted. There's nothing hard to understand from this song, so not much else for me to talk about. I will say this song taught me what a prenup was. For those who don't know what a prenup is, just know that it's something that you're gonna need to have. So when she leave your ass, she gonna leave it. Imagine finding out on your child's 18th birthday that it ain't your kid. That's tragic. Nonetheless, Gold Digger is a banger. Track 5 is a skit. That's coincidentally the name as well. This skit introduces the group that Apple Music and Google can't decide the name of. Apple Music tells me that it's broke flat broke, and Google tells me that it's broke fi broke. The Google version sounds right, so I'll just trust them. This skit is essentially a group of people going over shit they can't afford. It's funny and it doesn't overstay its welcome. After the skit is finished, we got the next song I'm almost positive most of y'all never heard of. Drive Slow is insanely underrated. It's such a vibe. The beat is chilled and laid back. Ye's verses are well done. The song also features artists like GLC and Paul Wall. What? Both having great verses on this track. Near the end of the song, the beat hits a slowdown, and I love that shit. It sounds like a slow and reverb song. This track is great. I wouldn't go out of my way and say this is one of my favorite songs from Ye, but it's a fantastic track that y'all should listen to. The next track is My Way Home, which I thought this track was just alright. Not bad, but there's nothing memorable, and I can honestly say the same thing for the next song here, Crack Music. I dig the message Ye was going for, conceptually talking about how crack was placed in black communities, but this song is repetitive. However, I love how aggressive the beat is. It fits the hard-hitting message that Ye wanted to deliver. Coincidentally, the next song kinda does the same thing in terms of an aggressive beat, and I love it. Roses is a banger. Ye talks about America's healthcare. Ye and his family are the roses that support their grandmother through the hard times. There's lines on this track where Ye wants to tell his grandma that everything will be alright, but he knows she might not make it. I definitely dig this track, and the story told here is both heartbreaking and sincere.
Another one of my favorite tracks is Roses, where Kanye tells the tragic story of seeing his grandmother dying in a hospital, while also realizing no matter how big he is as an artist, he could never change her fate. With an insane sample chop from Bill Withers' Rosie, with vocals layered on top from Tony Williams and Patti LaBelle, that helped the word Rosie turn into roses, the track is perfect.
The next track we have here is Bring Me Down, featuring Brandy. Look, I'm already a fan of a lot of Brandy's older songs, so I was excited to hear her on this one. And yeah, she was an amazing choice for this track. This track is essentially Ye saying fuck the haters. I do like some of Ye's verses on this track though, but this isn't a song I'd return to as often. Don't get it twisted though, I do like this track. Addiction is one catchy ass song. The beat is a bit underwhelming, but man, this is honestly a catchy track. This is a fire ass track. Track 12 is another skit with the Broke 5 Bro group. It's still funny like the first skit. That's pretty much it for the skit. That means we can go to one of my favorite tracks on this album, that for some reason has two versions on this album. Diamonds is one of the most unforgiving songs I've heard from Ye. I love the sample used in this track. The original song is titled Diamonds Are Forever, from the James Bond film with the same name. Ye goes over the casualties of the diamond mine. The track begins with Ye not holding back. Good morning, this ain't Vietnam still. People lose hands, legs, arms for real. If you've seen pictures, you know exactly what Ye's talking about. And I love how unapologetic he is. Oh yeah, Jay-Z is on this track too. He's fine, I guess. This track is not only a banger, it has a great message with some fire verses from Ye. Can't wait to hear it again. We Major is another banger. A song where Ye, Willie Doe, and Nas talk about their success over the years. With this bombastic beat playing, you can sort of feel the accomplishment of these artists. I hope what I said makes sense. We Major has a fire ass chorus as well. I can't control it, can't hold it, it's so good. I take a sip of that yak, I wanna. Yeah, I'm not saying that. Yeah, nah, this is a fire track. This track is now one of my favorites. The next track is skit number 3. It's short and sweet to prepare for the next song, Hey Mama. I shouldn't have to tell you what the song is about. Listen to the song now. This track hits even harder, but that's a story for the future. If you've seen Genius, or if you've seen any videos on YouTube, you'll know that Ye and his mom Donda West were close. And this track relays that message. Ye talks about how his mom supported him through any situation he puts himself in.
Another favorite of mine is a favorite of many, which is Hey Mama, a fucking insanely heartbreaking song if you know anything about Kanye and his love for his late mother Donda West. The ballad starts with Kanye singing the chorus of the song, essentially saying how he is so proud of his mother, and even though he acts out, he appreciates what she has done for him, and all he wants is for her to be proud of him. He goes on in the 2 verses that he spits to recall different stories and sayings from his mother that shaped him into the man that he is now. One of the best lines that still gets me really emotional and gives me goosebumps every time I hear it because of the love that I have for my own mom goes like this. 7 years old, caught you with tears in your eyes, cause a nigga cheating telling you lies. Then I started to cry. As we knelt on the kitchen floor, I said, Mommy, I'ma love you till you don't hurt no more. And when I'm older, you ain't gotta work no more. And I'ma get you that mansion that we couldn't afford.
This song is so sweet. I also love Ye's live performance on Oprah. It makes this track more wholesome after watching this. Overall, I love this track. Celebration is the next track, and this is a fun little song. The beat is fun, and I do like some of Ye's verses. However, this line where Ye says, till one day your ass busted the packaging, you know what? You're my favorite accident. Yeah, that's a wild ass line, but I do like this track. Check at Teen is the 4th and final skit on this album.
Because there is a imposter among us.
I'm not gonna joke about that.
There's an imposter.
Stop saying that! I do think this is the funniest skit on this album. The group finds out that one person in the crew isn't actually broke. I love how the leader begins the meeting by whispering, then he progressively gets louder.
I did not want to believe this, but I walked into the brother Kanye's closet and I found new shoes. I found new shoes. Kanye, would you like to step forward and explain these new shoes?
Overall, this skit is funny. Track 19 is gone. Now, at first, I thought this track was just okay, but after listening to it a few more times, I fucked with this track a lot more. This track is where Ye, Consequence, and Killer Cam talk about the simple life. The beat is very low-key and I love it. I don't know what I was tripping on before, but I like this track. It's incredibly underrated. Track 20 is Diamonds. Again, same beat, but the lyrics are different. While I don't think the message hits as hard as the remix, I do like the track. I love both versions of the song. I will say that Diamonds is the fire track. The remix is fire as well. Alright, it's finally time we wrap this up, so let's check out the last track on this album, Late.
Finally, I have to mention another favorite track of mine, which just so happens to be titled the creator's favorite track from Kanye, to the point that he had him perform it at Camp Flog Gnaw in 2013, which is entitled Late. Another beautiful and genius sample chop from the Whatnots, Ali Race Your Pain. This is a more impressive chop than mentioned before with Roses, because in this, Instead of making one word that sounds similar to another change into that word, the pitch shifted and vocoded sample says, instead of "I'll erase your pain," it says "I'll be late for that," which is absolutely insane. There's a great website called whosampled.com, and if you look up this song, you'll be amazed at how Kanye was able to interpolate someone saying something into a completely different line. In the song, Kanye speaks about his hypothetical college experience that he shares in the previous album, The College Dropout, and in his next album after Late Registration, entitled Graduation. He paints a picture with interesting wordplay over a soulful beat that accumulates into a grand piece, not to mention the string section playing in the melody of this song at the beginning.
Late is another one of my favorites on this album. I love how the beat slows down and speeds up constantly. This track goes over how Ye is late for pretty much anything he does, whether it's college work or anything music related. I had fun with this track, and I think it's a great way to end the album off. With that being said, that was Late Registration.
I know Tim gave me all the time in the world to talk about this album, and truly, I would if I could. I got my own shit to work on, nigga. Like, plus, my J. Cole video flopped. I don't think people want me to go in depth with the meaning of like every line of a song like I did in that video. So, yeah, so long, y'all. Make sure to follow me on Twitter, subscribe to Down Bad Boys, the group channel I run with people who are more well-known than me, and obviously, subscribe to Tim, y'all. The fuck are you doing? I'm out.
Late Registration sold over 860,000 copies, eventually selling over 3 million copies, and going 5 times platinum. Once again, Ye manages to win another Grammy for Best Rap Album. Before this, I never fully listened to this album, but I'm happy I finally got a chance to listen to it. Late Registration is an amazing album. The production is great, the features are at their best, and Ye comes through to give us something new. That Grammy was well deserved. Late Registration is a classic, and it's an album that I'm happy I had the pleasure to listen to. Oh my gosh,